when this kind of article drops, should worry Kathy Engelbert a great deal.
You won't believe what just hit WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. After months of staying quiet, brushing off media heat, and letting refs run wild on the court, karma just rolled up. And this time, it brought receipts. Just 2 days ago, a bombshell report dropped, and it didn't just call Kathy out. It basically threw her under the bus for what happened with Caitlin Clark's injury. And if you think this is just some internet drama, think again. This could be the moment the whole league finally turns on its own commissioner. If you're done with her silence and think she should step down, type "resign KA" in the comments right now. So what sparked the fire this time?
With a groin injury, and she just pulled up limping a little bit on this play. And this is so tough to watch. Just the emotion.
But they are not in this case. In this case, they're calling out the WNBA and Kathy Engelbert.
Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's biggest name in years, was yanked from the All-Star Game lineup.
So Caitlin Clark is officially out for the All-Star Game.
Not because she wanted rest, not because of family reasons. She's down with a painful groin injury, and that's when the blame started flying. Sure, the refs and coaching staff caught some heat, but most of it landed right on Kathy Engelbert.
Right leg. Yeah, she kind of pull up. A little bit of a jerk motion to stop her momentum.
And let's be real, this didn't just come out of nowhere. It's been bubbling up all season. Remember how Caitlin was getting knocked around on the court like she was in a wrestling ring? Hard screens, cheap shots, elbows flying, and half of them didn't even get a whistle. Still, Kathy didn't say a thing. Not a word. People gave it a pass because, hey, it's the WNBA.
First quarter, Caitlin Clark obviously being fouled. The refs don't call.
Watch when Caitlin Clark is trying to create some space. It looked like she just got hit in the eye there.
Ooh, and Marina Mabry, I missed that one.
But now it's gone too far. Caitlin, the literal face of the league, is injured and missing huge games. That's not something you just ignore. Then boom, the Washington Post stepped in with a report that lit the internet on fire. Yep, Caitlin Clark's hurt again, and the league dead silent again. Fans were done shouting into the void, and players were quietly getting beat up with no help. But just when it felt like the silence couldn't get any louder, the Washington Post said what the league wouldn't. They dropped a piece that didn't hold back, it flipped the table. This wasn't just another article, it was an exposé, and it rocked the WNBA to its core. The refs aren't just messing up, they're putting the whole game in danger. That line alone hit hard, like straight to the bone. What came next was pure, raw frustration. The same words fans had been screaming online, finally stitched together into one hard truth. The refs aren't just making bad calls, they're ruining the game. And then came the mic drop line.
How bad it is in this league. The WNBA should change its logo to a bruise.
The WNBA should change its logo to a bruise. Not even a joke. It was chilling, dead serious. Forget the iconic silhouette of a woman mid-shot. Just slap Caitlin Clark's swollen, bruised arm on there instead. Or Kelsey Plum's, or Nafisa Collier's. Because let's face it, bruises have been more consistent than whistles this season. The Post didn't sugarcoat anything. They weren't talking about hoops anymore. They were talking about a war zone, a league where players are left defenseless, and the hits kept coming. One haunting quote, "The league's motto should be no call." That's the kind of line that sticks in your head, especially if you're a Caitlin Clark fan. It haunts coaches. It stings every young girl who watches their hero get dropped and ignored. Remember that game where Caitlin took a knee to the stomach from J.C. Sheldon of the Connecticut Sun? She buckled over in pain. No whistle, no review, nothing. Just nights before, she was getting grabbed, shoved, and slammed by Dallas defenders over and over again. And the refs? Eyes wide shut. And then came the moment of truth, national TV. Everyone was watching, and even the commentators couldn't stay quiet anymore. Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Ruocco snapped. Lobo said it clear as day. That's a foul, that's a foul, that's a foul. One after another, it was wild.
The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean,
all of those are
fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally,
the turning point. When even the commentators start sounding like the angry fans in the stands, you've already crossed the line.
By C. Hafer's count, there have been 57 head and neck injuries.
But the report didn't stop with outrage. It came stacked with cold, hard numbers, and jaws dropped. Since the start of the season, the WNBA has racked up 141 injuries. But guess what? The league only has 179 active players. Let that sink in. That's nearly 80% of the entire roster hurt in a single season. And we're not talking little sprains either. These are serious. Head trauma, groin tears, knee blowouts, back spasms, concussions, real damage. Lucas Cafer, a well-known kinesiologist who tracks injury data, dropped a scary stat. Guards and small forwards, players like Caitlin, are suffering 100 more injuries than the bigs. That's a red flag if we've ever seen one. Why is this happening? Because guards and small forwards, those fast, explosive players, work in tight, high-pressure spaces, and now they're being thrown into games so rough, so reckless, even the most elite athletes are getting broken. The league's letting it happen. And the one watching it all from her comfy chair is none other than Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. While stars are limping off in tears and coaches are practically begging for fair treatment, Cathy's doing what? Standing there with the strength of a silk napkin?
For fairness.
Especially for heralded rookies, but of course I want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league. I would say seems like she can take care of herself. She's a tough player. I think it may be lost on some people who are new to basketball in terms of a little bit of the controversy in the WNBA.
No press conference, no tweet, not a single word, zero. And let's not forget, this is the same commissioner who vowed to grow the game and protect its future. But her silence feels like betrayal. Because it's not just Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, Ryan Howard, Sabrina Ionescu, Kalia Copper, Jonquel Jones.
Linchpin who have missed significant time. So have Collier, Jonquel Jones, Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, Ryan Howard, and Kaylee Copper.
All of them have missed time this season. All of them getting chewed up by a system that's letting dangerous play run wild. This ain't just carelessness, it's a slow-motion disaster. Even Coach Stephanie White had to speak up, saying, the physicality with which teams are allowed to play, it adds up. Maybe not one hit, but over time, it breaks them down. That's what's really scary. Fans didn't show up to the WNBA to watch these women suffer for being great. They came for skill, for talent, for history-making hoops. But what are they getting? Bruises instead of highlights, pain instead of plays. This league has a full-blown crisis on its hands. And while Cathy's out here chatting about Valentino heels, her players are trading concussions, sprains, and busted ribs like it's part of the game plan. And the people in charge, they just keep brushing it off. They actually said, we can't blame physicality for the injuries. Really, because fans ain't buying that anymore. Reddit's lit up right now. People are calling it exactly how it is. One user put it perfectly. We keep hearing we can't blame physicality for injuries because there wasn't a hard hit in the exact moment. But it's not about one hit. It's the constant body shots, the pushing, the grinding pace, the stops and starts. That buildup is what shreds ligaments and burns out joints. And another comment nailed it even harder. I hate when people only use Caitlin Clark as the example. It makes it easy for critics to brush it off. But this isn't a Caitlin issue. This is a league-wide problem. Facts. Even the Washington Post, which used to be a shield for the league, isn't holding back anymore. And let's be real, it's not just about the stat sheet anymore. Even though 141 injuries in one season should have been the red flag to end all red flags. It's about the message the league is sending, the silence after each brutal hit, the way refs swallow their whistles like they don't want to be held accountable, the way leadership hides behind buzzwords like growth while their top stars drag themselves to the locker room in pain. So no, this ain't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about a league that's turned hostile to the very athletes who built it. It's about a commissioner who had the power to make it right, but didn't. And now, the fans are wide awake. Because if you're still defending the officiating at this point, then you're clearly not watching the same WNBA the rest of us are. So if you think it's time for Cathy Engelbert to step down, drop a resign Cathy in the comments. Let them know the fans are paying attention now. And if you want more updates on the biggest WNBA scandals, drama, and breakdowns, they're not stopping anytime soon. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single twist. See you on the next one.